Good morning to all of those tuning in. This is the Rebel Lemon, and today we're playing Any Ports in a Storm. So, this is essentially about two lighthouse keepers, in which one of them finds the other one dead, and then must control their emotions, or end up with the same or more horrifying fates. So, with that being said, let's get right into it. His body almost seemed alive against the rocking sea. The crashing of the waves mimicked and taunted a phantom heartbeat. I don't know what to feel when I found him, but there was guilt in that I should have felt more than I did. He loved to spend his time on the water, away from the lighthouse. At first, I feared his avoidance of the house was a result of my own. Later, though, I found his disconnection to be his own accord. I grew fond of him in the days following my employment, and I liked to think he felt the same. With a lack of ease, I dragged his body to our sitting spot. I couldn't tell you to what end, but the time keeping the image of him alive was all that mattered. That's a little creepy. Depending on what you're doing. There was a softness in his presence, something I wish to preserve. I searched the lighthouse for anything that I could give him. Clothes, accessories, or general interests. Yeah. Yeah, no, this became creepy. And I'm not gonna lie. Is this really what we want to do? Once I collected all I could find, I shifted through the pile for something suitable. His journal. The one I was never meant to read, and the one I did. He wrote mostly at me and our time working at the lighthouse. His words were harsh, but he wrote them kindly with care. A mark. Was this his or mine? I couldn't be certain. Occasionally, in the deep of the storm, far out from the eye, we'd share one. Knowingly or not, I couldn't decipher. I think he wondered the same. A human skull. I don't want to cover that face too much, or make him look any more dead than he already is. A floral dress. Wait, why is this here when there's only men stalking the lighthouse? I shouldn't even be thinking about it. Maybe? No, I mustn't. Why would he even own such a thing? Translucent pink hot glasses. We left these in his bedside table. I laughed the first time they were shown, but for the most part I wondered in silence. It wasn't until reading his journal that I found out what they meant. What he'd lost. Who he lost. I felt bad for laughing. Oh, okay, so if I'm guessing correctly, the dress and the glasses and maybe the skull might be like his wife or something along that, like some kind of family member. His glasses. These should make him feel more lively. He must have left them behind when he went to the docks. I'll dress him up and make him feel lively, but we still don't feel right. His mug was empty. I certainly wasn't going to serve him tap water. Dirt-filled and still, he deserved better. The walk to the shed was long and cold. I wish it wouldn't fade out like that. The shed was empty. Seemingly on cue, my stomach began to crawl as I saw ravaged shelves. I'd no idea when the next delivery was meant to arrive. When the ships foregone would blow. Foghorn. The storm meant fishing was out of the question, and seagull would be far too charred, buried by flame. Charred burned by flame. My hunger rose, and in panic, I looked inward. Press the W key to subdue hunger. Oh shit! I am literally doing my best. It's still going down. Oh, we're doing it, I think. God, my hand's starting to hurt though. God. Yep, and that's it. I lasted pretty long. I was insatiable, scared, and yet there was an alarming lack of regret. I did what was needed in the moment, and I did it well. At least, that's how I justified it. And to a further extent, how I justified what was to come. I was so hungry. There are certain feelings that can shape someone's mind in a variety of ways. There was hunger and there was love. If I sat with this husk, what could come of it? That was the hunger thinking, but I couldn't tell. Why sit till the meat becomes spoiled? That's all he was to the physical response. Yeah, I made many attempts at his skin throughout the night, but I'd been unable to follow through. That was the love thinking. The feeling was bubbling and unbearable. And at once, I could feel the hunger rising too. It wasn't rage as much as it was the failure of not being strong enough to survive. This isn't what he would have wanted. It became hard to decipher which voice was mine, which voice was love. As my thought rose to an overwhelming numbness, I broke skin. It was satisfying in a way. I knew if I drew this knife, I'd fail. Oh my god, they're getting so precise. That I could tell love alone if I didn't try. I knew I couldn't win this battle, but I picked a side. It was wrong to love another man. Had I always just been using him? I don't remember much, but I remember he tasted sweet. His bitter blood complemented by his skin, a creamy texture supplied by the liver, and a satisfying struggle with the marrow. Not too dissimilar to how we fought meat out of crabs. The sweetest part, I did it myself. Regardless of when the next shipment was arriving, regardless of when the next boat would come to shore, I was supplied. So I indulged and indulged and indulged. Man, this game's fucked up. I missed that last line, actually. Wow, that was incredibly fast. And I genuinely don't know how to feel about that. See, I'm not gonna lie, the description of the game is, very lacking. It does not tell you anything about the game compared to what you're playing. Jesus Christ. Like, I get it. Sometimes you have to do the worst things to survive. But I guess it's doing it, or at least doing it by proxy, that still feels messed up. Yeah, I don't even know. It was well crafted. It was a good narrative experience. It's just, I don't know what to say. Genuinely. Yeah. So, that's the thing. I would have done a very, very different intro if I knew what the game entailed. The only thing I will complain about is I wish the words were a bit more separated. It was a bit hard for me to read. That, and I wish the game was full screen, because it's taking up, like, what, a very small window in my screen? Like, it's not an issue, it's just, can I have a little bit more screen real estate? It would be nice. But, yeah, that's a game that I play, and I don't know how I feel about it. So, that's fun. Yeah, you know what? I'm just gonna end it here. Yeah. And, maybe, hopefully, cross my fingers, the next game isn't as messed up. So with that being said, thank you for tuning into the frequency. This is the Rebel 11, signing off. So, good night, and sweet nightmares.